Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Present Show. It's Mindful Pat here. We don't have Lele with us. He is traveling and spreading mindfulness in his own way, but we do have a very, very special guest with us today, Vicki Flaherty. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Hi, good. Good to be here, Pat.
Good to have you. Good to have you. So today we know we had you on the show sometime in the past. One of the first people actually on the show who helped spark the idea. So thanks for that. We wanted to talk to you again today a bit about mindfulness and specifically about an article that you published not too long ago about mindfulness at IBM. And you titled it an Employee-Led Community and Grassroots Initiative. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So this journey of mindfulness at IBM started, I don't know, about 10 years ago with just one guy, one systems engineer in a cafeteria in Burlington, Vermont, who wanted to get his techie buddies together. And they practiced once a week in the cafeteria. And then people heard about it, and he created this online community so he could reach people outside of the site. And there were maybe 250 people in that community. And then he went off to teach mindfulness and practice mindfulness full time, and everything just settled and there was space for something else to happen.
Just so everyone understands, he created like an online community within IBM's intranet, right, where other IBMers can join,
yes,
right?
Yes, yeah. So we have a great social platform within IBM, and he created something there, and it just sat for many years.
After he left, yes.
After he left, yeah. So about 2009, from 2009 until 2015. Absolutely nothing happened in there. And I know because when I went to create an online community, because of some work that I was leading, I found his community and found someone who was one of the owners and asked if I could become an owner and reactivated it. And that was the beginning of this 3-year grassroots movement that you've been a big part of.
Excellent, excellent. So this grassroots movement started, and then what happened? You started the program. You found this community that was sort of dormant, and then how did it become activated?
Yeah, so it became activated. I just posted something in the community and reached out to people that had joined the community. And a few people bubbled up, and then those people reached out to some of their friends. And I think the real way the community grew is that we started creating awareness. So this group of people came together, and we hosted monthly webinars about mindfulness, what it is, how it works, and that you could see the community size growing as we were sharing those different webinars. And one of the really cool things for me I think it was about 6 months in, sitting at my desk here in the middle of the cornfields of Iowa in the United States, and there's 6 people on a call hosting a webinar from literally around the world, like India, Italy, Poland, just different people that would have never, ever met each other had come together to co-create this 1-hour session on mindfulness. And so I was just seeing the power of the kinds of tools that we have to bring people together and share around something that they have in common, and really creating a platform for people to reach their peers and their colleagues at IBM. It was just really amazing.
And was it people just from, I don't know, HR or leadership, or was it from different business units?
That's the amazing thing, is that our community is all across the world and all across different business units. Like, most of the people are not in HR. I sit in HR and I sit in leadership development. And I think so being one of the people activating it and coming from HR, I think there were a lot of people waiting for permission to use the word mindfulness and to talk about or practice mindfulness. But really our community is people from all across the business joining in and taking some initiative.
And this is, from my understanding, this is different than what other companies or big corporations are doing, right? For our viewers who don't know, I mean, IBM, 400,000 employees. So the other companies, they started something from the top, like a program, and then they let it out. And it's not the same within IBM, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it typically an organization will identify a program that aligns with their strategy, and then they'll roll that out globally. And our approach was to really, it was really a divergent approach of looking at what do people in different parts of the world, different parts of the business think mindfulness means, and how does it make sense for them to practice it? And I know you were leading some work on practicing mindfulness within an agile and design thinking context there in Poland. And I've done some really interesting practices with Prachi Rastogi in India in terms of just some different techniques on a virtual call. And so I think just being open to what different groups think it means and how they want to practice. There are definitely cultural differences in what's acceptable, what people might want to do. And so really just opening to that. And I think what's happened over time, though, Pat, is that the fact that you've identified all the practice group leaders and bring them together regularly, and we're updating them on some of the HR strategies and organizational strategies, for example, around resilience, you start to see what used to be these divergent groups practicing in unique ways. You start to see common threads coming together and a natural centralizing of some of the ideas and the concepts around themes that really matter to the organization. So agile, design thinking, resilience, well-being, mental health, a lot of those areas are really core to what the business is trying to accomplish. And it's really interesting to see how everybody comes together to support that.
And a lot more executives. I mean, executives have been helping us out from the beginning, but now it's becoming more and more relevant in presence in executive programs and leadership and meetings and things like that. So it's picking up even more momentum now.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have a lot of executive support originally. And I think one of the things that got us there is that we started incorporating mindfulness into some of our leadership and management development programs. And for one of our big programs where we bring in a couple hundred new executives each quarter, they're executive faculty that are part of that program. And we were integrating mindfulness into the program, had a mindfulness trifold that suggested things people could try over their 3 days at the event. We hosted some sessions. It was really cool to see our chief health officer a couple years ago leading a mindful minute of just everybody breathing. So I'm in the auditorium and 200 executives are, just sitting there breathing for a minute. And ending with the gratitude pause. Anyway, so introducing mindfulness in that program, we got not only the executive faculty familiar with and beginning to understand mindfulness and its value, but then this group of new executives. And so you begin getting a little bit of traction in the organization where some of these executives are interested. I think Joanne Wright was one of our first, visible executives that was supportive.
Excellent.
And now we have Laurence Guillard-Joly, who's really been leading things and a lot of amazing things happening in our Global Technology Services organization, thanks to her.
And on that note, because the end of your article talks about expansion, and I really want to recommend everyone, you'll find in the links below later on, the links to the article so you could read about some of the things that are happening now and how it's expanding even more within the community. Also, we'll link it to the IBM Jobs blog. I know you started the mindfulness series, so there's some nice articles there, and some other relevant public articles that we have associated with mindfulness at IBM. Vicky, do you want to lead us in a final minute of a practice, a tip, or something?
Yeah, so as we're talking about the 3-year growth of this community and the fact that you and I are friends now and that we get to do this together, I'm feeling very grateful. And so maybe we could just end with a gratitude pause. And so invite everybody to just bring your attention to now, bring your attention to your body, and just where it is, how it is, just notice. And maybe take a few cleansing breaths. Just letting the air really come in and fill your belly, and then just slowly letting it out like a leaking balloon. And then if it helps, you can close your eyes or not. But just pause and see if there's something that pops up for you that you can be grateful for in this moment, however little or big that thing might be. And just sit in appreciation for that thing, that person, that event, that feeling, whatever it may be. Just gently hold it and treasure it. And then as you've got this vision that you're holding gently, I invite you to carry it with you throughout the day. Come back to it at those moments where you might lose sight of all the goodness in your life. And so, Pat, thank you. In gratitude to you for having me back on the show, and for all that you and Lele are doing to help spread the message of mindfulness, not just within IBM, but outside of IBM. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Very grateful to you
All right.
and everything. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a mindful day.
All right. Thanks a lot, Pat. Bye-bye.